Welcome to the Reading Room podcast, a podcast series hosted by me, Georgina Durrant. Together, we're going to dive into the transformative power of reading. In this series, I'll be joined by a real mix of inspirational guests, from Twinkl's original authors to Premier League footballers, as we explore the joy, the challenges, and life-changing impact of reading. Let's dive in. In this episode, I am delighted to be joined by Nicola. Nicola is the National English Lead at Twinkl. Drawing on the latest research in education, she leads the development of high-quality English resources for teachers and educators across the UK, ensuring they have the tools and support they need to deliver engaging and effective English lessons that foster a deep understanding of language and literature. Hi, Nicola. Thanks for coming.
Hi, Georgina. It's great to be here.
So let's dive in. How does developing strong oral language skills in early childhood lay the foundation for later reading fluency?
Well, oracy and reading are obviously closely interrelated, with each influencing and supporting each other, like two sides of the same coin, effectively. So strong oracy skills provide a solid foundation for reading development, whilst reading experiences enrich and expand children's oral language abilities. So by fostering both oracy and reading in a really balanced and integrated way, educators can create that rich and supportive learning environment where children can thrive.
I love that. And what specific oracy skills have the greatest impact, would you say, on reading fluency?
So strong oral language skills are foundational for reading fluency. I think we've established that. So if we take it right back to the beginning, so understanding phonemes, so those building blocks of language, and learning the alphabet, for example, are really super crucial. A rich vocabulary acts like a mental dictionary, making comprehension easier. And then we have storytelling. We're hearing an awful lot about storytelling and the benefits of storytelling these days, aren't we? And sharing and listening helps learners to really grasp language flow. You know, listening to language, listening to story structure and character development, making reading feel more natural. And then we have strong oral language, which really fosters essential social skills, like clear expression and understanding those kind of diverse perspectives.
Brilliant. And there'll be lots of teachers, there'll be lots of parents watching this, hopefully. Can you share some really practical strategies for them to incorporate oracy building activities into sort of their daily routines to enhance their children's reading fluency, or the children that they're teaching is reading fluency?
Yeah, of course. So to improve children's reading fluency, so educators, be they parents or teachers in schools, can really significantly benefit from incorporating oracy building activities into daily routines, either at home or in school. So let's have a think about at home, in the home environment. So reading aloud together is the obvious thing, right? So interactive storytelling, family discussions, cooking together.
Sitting around the dinner
table, that kind of vocabulary, that building that even comes from talking about recipes and the food that they're eating, for example. Playing word games together, role-playing are all really great ways of developing oral language at home. And I think by empowering parents, you know, and showing them how to integrate oral language kind of activities into their daily routines and daily life is really, really a good way to get started with this. And then, of course, in school, we have class discussions and paired reading, and that's where the reading comes into this as well. Dramatic reading, retelling stories. So we have those read alouds again, of course, debates and presentations, and those language games in school. And of course, for educators, as with parents at home, modelling really good oracy is super important, and providing that regular feedback to learners as well, to really support their ongoing journey with this as well.
And that's lovely. I'm sure there's lots of things that teachers can pull from that, and parents as well. And I'm sure it'll empower parents, like you say, listening to that and thinking, oh, I do all those things already at home. I'm actually doing a really good job, and I'm doing a brilliant way of supporting them already.
And those things that they're already doing, as you say, you know, when they realise kind of the benefits of those things, that they will probably just add more of those things in and be more kind of like mindful when they're actually doing it. And I suppose as well, thinking about the vocabulary development side of that, I think definitely me as a parent myself, I would definitely be kind of like thinking about the vocabulary that I'm feeding my children in those different opportunities at home as well for different purposes.
No, I think that's brilliant. Really, really good. So my last question for you, Nicola, how can we address the unique oracy needs of diverse learners, so including English language learners and students with specific language difficulties, which is an area that, that I'm quite passionate about that, to support their reading fluency development.
Yeah, okay, so let's take English language learners to begin with. So visual aids, for example, is something that I think that works really well there. Providing the English language learners with extended wait time so that they have time to answer questions.
Yeah. And that's hard to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
As a teacher, I remember you give a question and then you want them to answer straight away, but you're supposed to give quite a long time, quite a few seconds.
Yeah, but we all know the benefits, don't we? But yeah, as you say, as a teacher, it's really super difficult to actually stop and not give them the answer. Yeah. Scaffolding as well. So using different scaffolds to support their language learning. I think repetition as well works really, really well. And sort of having those culturally responsive activities, of course, as well, to engage and motivate learners and provide them with that kind of like safe space that is relevant to themselves, if you like.
No, that makes sense.
And then thinking about students with specific language difficulties, they really benefit from explicit instruction.
Yeah.
So just digging into that a little bit more. So explicit instruction in Oracy, for example, involves a really systematic approach that works really, really well, where teachers, educators directly model effective communication. Educators could be providing students with guided and independent practice that works really, really well as well, and offers specific feedback again on specific speaking and listening skills. And that approach provides clear expectations, of course, for those learners for effective communication, breaking down complex skills into those kind of manageable steps.
Yeah.
And then, of course, differentiation as well. Small group instruction is really, really important here, that peer collaboration. And thinking about how those fostering those Oracy skills lead to that improved reading fluency. So just sort of circling back to the beginning of this podcast and your first question is having that in mind all the time, I think, and how we can't separate Oracy and reading fluency from each other. Whereas I think in the past, possibly they've been perceived as sort of distinct kind of skills that don't interrelate. But I think just seeing that relationship and seeing the whole and seeing that they're both sides of the two sides of the same coin is really, really important.
That's lovely. Thank you. That was really, really helpful. Been a brilliant guest.